All right. Perfect. It's working now. All right. So to do cast here. Um, I don't know. I suppose like a dev level type thing. I need to do the ray cast. I need to do um, like when I do that, I need to do swinging. There needs to be like kill boxes, enemies, um, gravity. uh, that should happen soon after the dev level. Um, uh, any other major? Probably be fine for now. I'll just work on the dev level. So it's 1920 by 1080. The ground, I'm gonna want to move it down to like 0. Y is gonna be like 700, 800. The width is gonna be like 2000 divided by 400, 480. I'll do like 700. And then a height of 100 should be fine. See how that looks. Yep, looks good to me. Yeah, and we also do have to fix collisions. I say we. I'm going to do it. Fuck you. After gravity, I'm gonna fix collisions. IS, collisions. Perfect. Awesome. Anyway, this should still be fully modular, so I can just type new, new, ground, new. This is a rectangle. And then I want like a 400 block or 400 pixel gap. So I want the X position to be 700, 1100. Y will stay the same. And width will stay the same. And height will stay the same. See how that turned out? Yep, and both of them are fully collidable as well. They both behave in the exact same way. Perfect. And then I want, like right around here, I want, I guess I could use my mouse, but right around like here, I'm gonna want, maybe like a small, actually no, well, what I want is a platform like right here. So that's what, like a third of the way down. So like, oh, comma, new round, new rectangle to pass in. X is gonna be like 700. Y is gonna be, all right, I want it to start at the first one. Yeah, 700. Y is gonna be like 300. Width is gonna be 400. I kind of want it to. I want it to cover the entire part of that, and then height. I'm gonna stay at 100. So this should work. Perfect. All right. So what we're going for, once I implement gravity, we're gonna have the guy here, and he's gonna go, he's gonna grapple, and he's gonna swing, and you're gonna let go, and you're gonna land right here. Swing and up, swing, kind of, up, swing. Yeah, at least that's the dream. So let's get started on that. I'll start with gravity. I'll just have gravity be a default acceleration after movements. So gravity, that's going to be a variable localized to the player. Just gonna say, hey, const float gravity equals like 0.7, because I want my up arrow to just barely do more than that. So vel dot y plus equals gravity. Was gravity lowercase? I don't remember. I didn't even fucking look. Gravity is capitalized. All of my constants will be capitalized from now on. Alright. I mean, that should just do it. There he is. That's gravity. Unfortunately, gravity and my collision system appear to be entirely fucking incompatible. Because there's a constant velocity trying to pull the square down into the thing. And when it does that, it doesn't get to move. So I actually need to fix a problem with the collisions, where if we have an X collision, instead of always setting both values to 0, if we have an X side collision, we just set the X one. That doesn't actually fix this, but that was a thing I needed to do. Because this way, if you hit a wall, it doesn't immediately stop you from falling off of the wall. So that's now a thing. I should probably turn gravity off. Oh, wait. Did that just work? Whoa. It's kind of fun. Yeah, so as it stands right now, you actually have to jump off the edge to get any height. And when you do, it's slow as shit because, well, gravity. This is actually kind of fun. I like this. And you can also, as it stands right now, obviously, you can just like hard drop if you want. Yeah, so unfortunately, how this works at the present moment is it waits for a collision to determine if there's a collision, which is, yeah, that sounds fucking stupid, but it's actually like normal. It's actually like, that was a well-constructed sentence. I don't want to hear shit. Anyway, so that actually kind of fixed the problem, like enough for me, because I don't. Because, like, all I would have to do is, if I do this, then... Okay, so a problem this does make is if there's any wall... I think I thought of a problem. New ground. If you were to have a corner, like 200. Oh no, like 800. What is your problem? Are we good now? If you have a corner, I don't think you can... Shit. Oh. Okay. You'll see this corner? I don't think... Oh. Honestly, I didn't think you'd be able to leave the corner. Okay. Never mind. That still kind of works. Huh? Where'd it go? Sir? I mean... Is it really that big a deal? I could just do, like... Could just invert it. Get some elastic collisions in here. Yeah, so now all collisions are... Oh, shit. All collisions are now perfectly elastic. It's kind of funny. Oh. Whoa. Which I do want collisions to, in some way, be a little elastic, but this obviously... Dude, he's fucking gone. What? Oh, that's so sick. Oh, it's so sick. It's so fucking cool. Ooh. There he goes, never to be seen again. Oh, that's actually kind of fucking dope. Whoa. So, negative, let's say like 0.5 times. So this would be the damping coefficient, kind of. What? My brother in Christ, it's the same thing. All right. Okay, so this will now be... Yeah, don't convert it to the fucking y velocity. Yeah, so now as long as you catch yourself in one of your your little bumps thing, it's so fucking funny. Yeah, I kind of love that. That's really funny. Perfect. Now, let's see. Oh, whoops! I hit the mic. So I have somehow managed to... Okay, I did gravity. I have not fixed collisions. They still don't work if you have constant velocity forcing you to do a collision. So what we could do is Yeah, because if it's 0, it's just gonna... Wait, I'm actually kind of surprised that elastic collisions didn't fix that. Interesting. Do we just need more liftoff velocity? That's a bad idea. Oh, go away. Nope, that certainly doesn't. That doesn't fix it. Whoa, that's kind of fun. Which, I mean, essentially that's how you would do a jump, is you just only let them do a lot of velocity very quickly once. But, yeah, that's still, like, I guess I'm not surprised it didn't fix it. It just, it brings it down. Because if it detects the collision, it's going to invert the velocity. So I'm actually accelerating down at -10 right there. Or it's accelerating positive y, which was down. So... whoop. But like... Okay, well, actually, no, that does now matter, because I can't change the velocity anymore. Even if I were to use like a raycast swing type thing. Though the tension on the rope would just be a direct translational movement instead of velocity. Well, actually, it would be a very complicated function, which is going to be a pain in the ass to figure out because I did not pass differential equations. That's good coffee. Oh, he fell. So, let's see. Dude, it's like a superhero that can never fly from a standstill. He has to like fall off something before before flying. Okay. I mean, you can just try it. Because I actually don't know how to fucking fix that. Glide height is greater than or equal to glide width. What if I just like... no, wait. This one. What if I just pretend it's not a fucking problem? Nope, still a fucking problem. Put that back where it damn well belongs. And... Well, I don't want another if statement. So, and... val dot y does not equal 0. That doesn't need a semicolon. Right? Because if the velocity isn't 0, and this is just for consistency's sake, because if the velocity is 0, damn. No, that doesn't. Oh, wait. Okay. Apparently, you can achieve liftoff if you just like try. Oh, because it'll send you up just enough that you can like frame perfect. Wait, what happens if you just hold? Okay. I guess I don't really like, I adjust the position, but I don't like really adjust the position. High school's hype. What if I just gave it one more pixel? Just one more pixel, bro. So that did fix it, but now he vibrates. Oh, wait, no, it didn't even fucking fix it. Just one more pixel, bro. Just one more pixel, bro. Nope. That's crazy. Why does that not work? Just 20 more pixels, bro. This one always works. Oh, wait, that's never coming back. But yeah, I mean, we can't be having that, so. Unless that was his thing. Unless he just always fucking bounced. Whoa. Got like that doom speed, dude. Well, that wasn't the solution. Yeah, it's still really, whenever you do that, it really wants to, still wants to do the inversion. I could just have it non-representative of actual physics, where your elastic coefficient changes if it's like not that deep, yo. I mean, yeah, I suppose that is possible. Let's see. Oh yeah, in like 3 hours, I think I get to stream instead of I'm actually gonna check that. I'll be able to stream instead of recording and then posting. Let's see. Studio. Still don't know like how to use. Oh, yeah. 2 hours and 47 minutes from this point. So that'll be decent. Yeah, because each one of these files is like 4 gigs, and I would rather that be stored at YouTube HQ. Because the fuck are they gonna do about it? What is all this? Oh, that's all my Git shit. I don't care. Perfect. So, I mean, do I need to fix collisions? I don't even know how. Like, I mean, it looks fine as long as you're not like. Does the oh. So if I do this, right, I can still do the launch thing, which is kind of funny. I'm gonna be honest. But as long as like, because that's not how this shit's gonna work, right? Like, um, I can just like wait a minute. We keep this at like 1, and then nope. Player dot. Oh my gosh. Oh no. So bounds dot x or dot y plus equals like 2, and essentially, I can. Oh, interesting. 3. Well, 5. So really. Oh wait, minus. So that way, it'll just work. It's not perfect acceleration or anything, because there is that element of you get like hang time. Whoa. But I mean, it kind of works. Anyway, honestly, okay. Just programming in like shitty little move mechanics is like, it's kind of just so fun, because like this is like the movement here is genuinely really fucking fun. Like the bouncing is kind of sick. Anyway, so that officially fixed the collisions. I really don't care about fixing the collisions right now. Perfect. Now, I do have to make the ray, right? So, um, so there are built-in ray functions into Raylib. I would hope. It's called Raylib because there's rays, and those might only be, well. I say ray. A ray is a line, is a one-dimensional line in 3 dimensions, where you're just like looking at it, and people mostly use them for light because how that ray interacts with everything determines how light would. I care about the line. So, check collision. Rect line. Check collision point line. Check collision polyline. Check collision line. Rectangles are just lines. Is there any? There's probably like a way to. Well, there is a way. You just see if it collides. Well, okay, wait. Point poly. Point line. Circle line. Why can't I have check collisions rec line? What if I just send out a really thin rectangle? But then it has to be at an angle. So I would need to do this one, draw rectangle pro, where the rectangle doesn't actually collide. Right now, all of my shit is like. There has to be a good way to do this. So, let's see. Collision circle. What if I just made the player a circle? Oh, that would break all of my collision code. Check collision point. Check collision point rec. So instead of sending a line, I send a shitload of points until one of them hits. And then the player remembers the point that it hit and does all the math relative to that point. Yeah, you get it. So, okay. That means I need a vector 2 point. And that point... Okay, I'm going to make a new function for this. Yeah, that's player function. This is in up. I mean, I could just write it in update. But yeah, I'll just make a new one. So swing. Does it return anything? No. It should also be public. Because reasons. Right? Yeah, that's probably... It's just mad that it doesn't do anything. Perfect. So all right. First off, we want to get the mouse position, which is in core. Disable cursor related function. Clear background again, drawing 3D. Nope. Set rate of FPS, wait time. Get random seed. File system, impression, input. Get mouse X, get mouse Y. Hell yeah. Perfect. So well, it would send the player into like kind of a different state of swinging. All right. Either way, nope. Get mouse position as a vector 2. Hell yeah. Perfect. Do that, and then vector to mouse pause equals. That works great. Okay, so it gets the mouse position. For right now, we'll just draw rectangle. I forget what the default draw rectangle is like because I always use draw rectangle rec. I'm not quite at pro. Actually, I will be using draw rectangle pro for this. Um, which eventually it'll just be draw texture, but um, I'm fucking stupid, so I'm not gonna do that right now. Yeah, eventually I have to design art. That's gonna be shit, like proper shit. The rectangle, rounded lines, flow around. Oh, that's kind of sick. All right. Anyway, oh yeah, we could also just draw a line. Wait, dude, draw a line. Draw a line. Draw a line. Draw a line. Start and draw a line. EX. Float thickness and color. Yeah. Okay. So draw a line. This is the starter position. So bounds dot. It's a new bounds dot x, comma bounds dot y. Is that not a vector? Draw line V. And then I just do the mouse pause, and then the color, color dot red. All right. This is going to be plus bounds dot width divided by 2. As will this. So this should just make a fucking line. It did not. I did not call it. Why it needs to be its own function, I honestly could not fucking tell you. But so now we have a line that connects here. Wow. Oh yeah. That's not a Raylib thing. That's a KDE Linux thing. Perfect. Now I only want that to happen when we have a left mouse click. Oh, you know what? This actually does have to go in update. I can't make this its own function. Because I still need, because like I'm gonna use just the same iterative thing that I use for collisions for the swing function. So we're just gonna control X. That never happened. Just gonna do it like right here for now. I'll figure it out later, but should still work. Yep. So what is next? Yeah, only draw the line if mouse is pressed. So I want the input is mouse button pressed. If is mouse button down, mouse button dot left. Perfect. Now, so now I have a line that's drawn there, but I only want that line to like truly exist up until it hits some form of collision, right? So after it hits, I can't point to the screen. Um, I don't know. After it hits this block here that I'm like bashing the player's head into, I want the line to just like stop. Whoa. So, how do we do that? Well, I think I need to like cast a point and have it like go. um, or I could like detect line and then take the one, and then take the point that's closest to the player. I actually don't know. Okay, I'm going to have to take a bit of a break. I should be right back. All right, and we're back. So, I did just remember that frame deltas are a thing. So, like, I have a couple constants. Max velocity being one of them, and then all of those are probably going to have to get adjusted. It's mostly these guys that matter. Because essentially, I would have to do relative to the frame delta. Not that I expect to run into performance issues. A set target FPS of 60 is probably just gonna be fine. So that gives the computer 16.2 milliseconds to like figure all the shit out, and I'm not running anything crazy. So I might just ignore it. I might at one point, like off camera, switch all of the constants to a decent delta. I think it would be like everything multiplied by 60, I think, because it would be 1 over 60 for... Yeah, so essentially this would just be 60 times the delta, which I don't know. I don't even know what the delta would be. I shouldn't have to get the delta every time. I'll probably just do that frame by frame. Right, but keep it at 1 for now. Yeah, so we still have the magic line going. Come on, get back up here. So, at this point, I want the magic line to actually fucking do something. So we're working in like this spot of code. We don't need that as big. Perfect. So what I want is so I want to be able to traverse this line somehow. So in theory, I want some form of angle. So yeah, I want a point that can traverse that line. Which means I want the angle of that line. Do I have... Is there array math? Vector 3 math, vector do math. Hello? So line, it's Quaternion. No? We're not fine with that? Maybe Raymath is already here. Maybe we already have him. Oh, there's an auto normalize. That, okay. I didn't realize implementing normalization of my velocity would be that easy. All I have to do is normalize it right here. Well, I want to normalize it here. Vector 2 normalize. Oh no, it's not a function. Oh no, that's not good. Does not exist in the current context. Do I not have Raymath? Damn. That's unfortunate. So it doesn't look like I have Raymath. Alright, well, suppose I could just not fucking bother. Well, that only matters for the input keys anyway, so whatever. I'm not going to be using those because we move by swanging. Swinging to the left, swinging to the right. Think about baseball and swing all night. So either way, I still want to magically traverse this line. So I would need to go up at that angle. So, well, there must be like a, yeah, there's a point collision. That doesn't help me immediately because I still need to traverse. Draw spline, I don't want to draw shit. Don't care about textures, no models, no audio, strokes. Yeah. Get spline point. No. Care about the collision point. Yeah. Or I could check collision point line, where I would have to deconstruct the rectangle. And then again, that would only check it. It wouldn't get it, right? Vector 2 point, vector 2 p1. I have no idea what the threshold means. But point rec. Wait. Yeah, check collision point rec. Now we need to do that until it does. So it wouldn't be every frame. It would have to run a lot, essentially. Okay, but we're just gonna go Control X for each entity and entities. I'm gonna put this. Oh wow, that was bad. This is the for each entities and entity. Boink. So now essentially, here we're just gonna. Oh, that probably didn't mess anything up too bad. Ooh, I like that. I think that's how it was before, but it's still good. Anyway, for each entity and entities. No, we don't need all this white space. Do that. So this should. The worst thing that this is gonna do right now is that's actually drawing like fucking 5 lines. 6. No, yeah, 5 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it draws the line, but I want to check the collision. Whoa. It's actually kind of cool. I can like tell where the guy is and like eventually get back. Yeah, there he is. That's kind of cool. Okay. So now I just do it, I guess. After 2 points. Okay. So I want the angle between 2 points, which means I need to take the inverse tangent, I think. Yeah, inverse tangent. Oh shit. What happened? Okay. So oh my gosh. Am I caps locked? Okay. So just float. Oh my gosh. And I want this in radians, I think. Float angle equals, oh my gosh. arctan of oh, equals. So do I have arctan? CS. C sharp trig. Math dot sign. It's math. So if I just do math dot arctan, math does not. Atan. So it needs a double. Yeah, that makes sense. Anyway, so it's relative to the player though. So how do I do that? All right. So it's gonna be the difference. So it's gonna be this is the x component there. Oh no. So this is the x component. What? Why is this one red? Parentheses can be removed my fucking ass, bro. Can I convert double the float? Can I just have a float version of it? Like, I get doubles are better, it's more precision or whatever the fuck, but like, come on. My brother in Christ just cast it. Bro, my arm's not broken. I don't need no cast. I don't. Are you missing a cast? No, dipshit, it's right fucking there. Oh my gosh. That one's that one. This one goes there. Bro, I casted it. It's a cast. None of the parentheses can be removed. Also, it's doing the fucking thing. Like, why does it do that? I'll just do the float conversion. Like, float XF, because it's a float now. Or, no, XD. There we go. Wait, fuck. Then it needs to be a W, retard. Float XD equals, this shit. Divided by 2. Doink. So, this is just the point X there. So now I need to add right, I need to take, because it starts there and then we go to this one. So it's plus the mouse pause plus mouse pause dot X, right? Because it's, well, no. Is it? Wait. No, because that's from the origin. I want, so you have mouse pause dot X minus yeah. So it's the mouse position minus this, right? So it's that. So it's that. I want this distance. I want this distance here, right? So it would be the greater one minus the smaller one. Yeah, and it'll go negative, but hopefully the arctangent function here is capable of doing that. So y, and that is mouse pause dot y minus, and then height. And then it's yd divided by xd. Alright, and I didn't like that. Cannot implicitly convert double to float. It is a double. They're doubles. Oh my god, I'm fucking stupid. Yeah, of course. Whatever. So I probably didn't even need this. I could just do like, all right. Perfect. Is it just console.print? I don't know how to print to the console. Wait. Console.writeLine. Okay. And now that's in radians. It's also backwards. Kind of. Oh, well, that doesn't do anything. Right? Okay. Positive angle. And that goes negative. Because reasons. Oh, this was like my least favorite part of calculus 2. Or of physics, I mean. It was like making sure the vector math always worked. Because usually I just did it on fucking vibes. So, we got that. We got that guy. Well, I mean, because that'll go down. The only problem there is that it's going to be looking. So if I do. So the ratio between them is negative, right? So. Or the tangent of the. Man, there's so a fucking way to do this that, like, works. What is the 4? It's probably just saying the same thing 4 fucking times. I would not be particularly surprised if that was the case. Oh, it fell. Hi. All right. Anyway, so we have an angle. Now, essentially, I want to cast, so 4, or while? Oh, gosh. All right. And then it's going to be, check collision point rec. While you haven't found a collision, we are going to need to make the point. So the point... Oh my gosh. Point glider. Point glider. So it's gonna glide. Point glider. We're going to initialize equals bounce equals this. Right? So the point glider starts there, and then while the point glider... So when this fucks up, it is going to freeze the entire system. So that's going to be fun. Essentially, we're fucked. Wait. I should really check for a line collision with the rectangle. But I don't have that. I have to fucking make my own, bro. returns collision point by wait. Hold on. How does that work? Why can't that be a get? Okay, so what I'm looking at here is check collision lines. You get two lines right here. Start position, end position, start position 2, end position 2. And then you pass in a pointer or a reference to your collision point that you want, and it'll put it back. Why can't that be a get function? That would be so easy. That would be so easy. But it's not. Why would you do that? That is so mean. I don't. Oh, hey, my roommate's home. Okay, so so if we check it, or sorry, if we don't, yeah, no, it would be while. So while we're not finding a rectangle, because this is during the for each. So while we're not finding a collision with entity dot bounds, right, and this vector will be the point glider. So while we're not finding that, and the value of point glider, because we don't want the grapple move to have infinite range. So this is how the range is going to be capped. And I guess we want the normalized version of that. So vector norm. So it's the sum of the squares, or the square root of the sum of the squares. So math dot squirt and obviously that returns a double, but yeah, because we want to normalize the line. Well, I mean, it is just the distance function, so the distance from the player dot bounds, but it's also like this. So I want the bounds dot x divided by 2 thing. Minus, or, well, no. I want the mouse pause x minus bounds. I want it up to the blue. That times itself. And then add to that the Y version. Here, I'm going to bring this down so I can actually, well, so that, so this, I mean, I suppose I don't have to calculate this twice. I actually use it a couple times. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna redo that. I want, yeah, I guess I want that line as a vector. So guideline, glide line. Because like all I'm going for at this point is that. So the glide line is equal to the mouse position, right? And we'll return as a float. So we want new. Comma. Something isn't enjoying stuff. Oh my gosh. All right. That, then that. This needs one more. And then comma that. And this just doesn't have a value right now because the value is actually this. Oh, hold on. This goes on the other side of this comma. And then this one goes over here. And I don't need those. Yeah, that works. I don't know why that's blinking. Does this not actually need something or something? I guess it's technically better coding practice, but I really don't like how it like fucks itself up to tell me that. All right. So now we have the glide line. And this can then be reduced to glide line. Glide line dot x or dot y divided by glide line dot y or dot x. So that should work. Build failure. Yeah, sure. Continue with the last successful build. Why does that not work? It doesn't work because of that. Right. So if we just like this should still build. And the angle derived from the glide line still functions because we want a positive angle here. And then one component of the angle goes negative there. And the other component, and then they're both negative there, meaning that's positive. And this one, the only one is negative. But we still want to traverse it. So we can just check that manually at some point. Right, either way, so we actually will never need these again then. Double angle equals the arctangent. Yep, perfect. So that does still function. Now, while the point glider does not detect another another rectangle, and entity does not equal this, because that line will necessarily collide with that entity local variable. And entity does not equal this, right? Because if entity equals this, then it's always going to do that. So, and I want to normalize the vector. Math.square root of point glider, but I want the glide line. Glide line dot x times glide line dot x plus glide line dot y times glide line dot y. And it really doesn't like that because all right, so the normalized vector should be less than, that's the distance formula, so the distance should be less than like 1,000, and that's the max. I should probably make a comment here. 1,000 is the max line cast distance. Perfect. So, is less than 1,000, less than or equal to 1,000. Perfect. So, while all of that is true, we simply we take the point glider, equals point glider dot x plus equals 1 pixel so the angle the arc tangent. So if we take the I want the slope which is just the rise over the run. Well, yeah, because I essentially want to go up by one almost derivative. Like I want like the discrete derivative or something like that. I haven't taken discrete math, but I want like kind of the derivative, but like of 1/60th of a second instead of infinite. So what the fuck is the angle for? Why do I need the angle? I don't need the angle. The angle is dumb. Forget the angle. Because I can just do like is it just plus the ratio? plus equals the ratio of x over y, and then the y one is just the y over x. Times some constant. So we'll do 2. 2 times, oh my gosh. X over y. So it's just the glide line dot x, sure, divided by glide line dot y, right? So that'll just take the ratio, multiply it by 2, and add it to the position of the point glider, and then I just do the same exact thing for y. Except I swap all of the x's for y's. I think. Because it'll just be the ratio. Or should it be to some common? But the common is the... Okay. And by the end of this point glider, so here, instead of writing this, I don't even think I need that, but I want system x plus point glider dot y, or dot x, plus it should, well, that'll return a value. Oh, no. There are a lot of errors down here now for some reason. What happened? What? Using system.drawing. No. There was system.drawing this whole time. I didn't have to use Raylib. Why did that get added? Dude, there is a ghost. Interesting. So if you click, it hard stops. Terminate. It's not terminating. Oh, it's gone. All right. Yeah, so you're still more than welcome to do that. But if you click, it'll give you a value. You do get a value, and I have no idea if it's right, but... Okay. Instead of doing that, we are going to draw a fucking line. We're so not going to draw this line, but not to the mouse position. To point glider. hopefully it makes a line. It did fucking not. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. All right. It's gonna get caught up here. Or if because I only want this to run if the entity is not this. Because it's going to check with itself. All right, still fucked up. All right. We don't need to hear it. I mean, it has to be this while loop, right? Like, if entity is not equal to this. Yeah. So, like, it has to be that loop. Because nothing else, like... Right? It's not going to, like... Yeah. I could just do, like, an if break in here for this condition. Right, so if is greater than or equal to 1,000, break. So if it looks and it doesn't find one within 1,000 pixels, get the hell out of that loop. And it didn't. I could make it a for loop where it's for well, for like 1,000, right? So like it's literally just for int I equals 0, I is less than 1,000, I plus plus, right? Literally just do this 1,000 times. That's a lot of red. Okay, so just do this 1,000 times. Increment the point glider. Well, I want to check before that. If check collision wreck that break, right? I think. Well, we shouldn't just get rid of that. Sure, it crashes the entire program, but I still might need it. So 4,000 times, if the point glider collides with something that isn't that isn't the player, increment until it does, and then by the end of it, the point glider should do the thing. So this is only going to run 1,000 times per frame. Okay. Awesome. What did I make? It just does negative. Hold on. Something's negative. $100, $500. That works. Wait. So don't draw this line anymore. Oh wait. If why is it not breaking? Because that's a good reading. That's like almost there. Right? That, oh gosh. Okay, that should be pointing directly towards the origin of that. Which is, oh wait. Why is X? That's 10 times what it should be. Oh, come on, come back. All right. It's so weird. All right. Oh, hey. Oh, oh boy. All right. Hold on. Let's see here. You keep drawing. You are green now. All right. Let's get you back here. Why? It does not fucking work. All right. If the entity is not this, does that change anything? Oh, wait. Oh, no, damn. Okay. So I think even after it detects something, right? Because it'll go from negative whatever to like actually doing it, right? Because like the Y will change, but the X will remain roughly at 100 ish, kind of. Anyway, so that is almost working, but I think after it does that, it still iterates through. So I actually I don't want to break the for each loop necessarily. But I certainly don't want to be running on any of the... So, like... This is just the line part of it. So, let's say... collision. I'm going to make a bool called collision found equals 0 or false. Right? So we make a bool called collision found equals false. And then if it makes it all the way to the end of this loop, it'll break and still set it. Well, wait. If it makes it here, we're going to set collision found equals true, right? And then I'll always restart. So now, is a sign but it's never used. Brother. Right. Collision found equals true. And then, so it'll come across a new one. So only run this. Not. Oh my gosh, collision. Why, God, why? If not collision found. Now it doesn't like this because it doesn't yet exist in the context of not this if statement. Which means it needs to be global within the scope of the player. Which means it needs a more descriptive name than collision found, huh? Line collision found. This will also be called line collision found. And this will be called line collision found. And in the player part of this, bool line collision found, and initialize that to false. Perfect. So now it'll look every single frame and it'll say, hey, we haven't found a line collision. We should fucking work on that. And then it'll do it. This is... Oh, nope. Tab. Perfect. So, if line collision found, and we'll just do this. Is that one's purple? Maybe that'll work. Oh. Something doesn't like something somewhere. Yeah, I fucking doubt it. It still kind of vaguely works. No, because that line really should be following the line I have here. Just worse. Or like... How did that do that? Oh, this is fucked. I'm in too deep. No, so yeah, something just does not work. It's just the back in timinator. Yeah, just get rid of fucking everything. Alright. Do it, draw a line. Perfect. Now, I want to look. I'm going to try the pointer thing. It seems a lot more like it might work. Angle. Oh, wait. There it is. Nope. Raylib cheat sheet. All right. We're going to try to use check collision lines. Right here. Now. If we check collision lines, if check collision lines, now we need to choose a line, or some lines. We're going to start with the line that gets made when we use the bounds. Are these vectors? Okay. We're going to start with this magic line, or this vector. This is just the center of the guy, of the player. What? What? Start position 1, end position 1. This should just be a point. This should work, I think. There is no new float. Yes, there is. It's a vector too. Maybe. So do I just have to fill in the whole thing? So the end part is going to be mouse pause. Comma, mouse pause. Comma. And then it's a reference to the collision point. So I want to make a collision point. So if I just do ref vector 2 collision point. It's declared but never used. Oh, don't worry. So the function will put that value into that reference, hopefully. Okay. I think I might have to iterate through all of the lines of the rectangle, though. I really don't want to do that. So we'll just try to detect the bottoms of rectangles. So it's because if it checks itself, it's always going to hit. So I'm just going to try. Well, for now I only have to detect the bottom, right? So we are going to check the line made when entity dot bounds. Well, this is gonna. Well, that needs to be new. New entity dot bounds. This is just a vector. Oh God, where did it go? Where is my error? I'd like my errors back, please. Oh my gosh. Okay. Fuck. Entity dot bounds dot x bounds dot x comma entity and entity dot bounds dot y bounds entity dot bounds dot y. So that's a vector, and then we have a mere one more vector to do, and that's gonna be the same goddamn thing, except x is gonna be bigger. It's gonna be plus entity dot bounds dot width. Perfect. And now we pass in collision point and we ask ourselves why the fuck it's not working. Well, never needed that. So we're good on that front. Alright. Perfect. Now, why doesn't it work? There is no target for type float. Float. But it is. It's a vector. Don't know if you knew that. Alright. So we're gonna clean this up then. Vector 2 player center equals new Any problem with that? Alright, so the line between player center and mouse position. And then... Oh, hey, I was about to do something very fucking wrong. And then bottom edge. That's vector 2 bottom edge line equals new. Well, no. Bound line point bottom left. Bound line point bottom left. That's a name if I've ever heard it. Bound line point bottom left equals bound line point bottom left equals this. Except it isn't. That's actually top left. For it to be bottom left, we need to add entity dot bounds dot height. That's the bottom left point. And vector. It feels like there would be a way to like just do this, but and if I calculate them all initially, so it'll just like look, it'll find the 4 vector points and then compare, oh, it's hitting all of these lines or whatever. So it's only ever gonna hit, you can only hit 2 lines at a time, I believe. Right? And they're gonna be opposite. So whichever distance is less is the one we care about, and then we'll get the return point there. Yeah, so we just want the first one that we hit, or there should always be 2 that it hits, because it's gonna go through the rectangle at some point. You can't hit 3 lines of the same thing. I don't think. No, that's impossible. So, but for right now, I only care about bound, line, point, bottom right. Equals new entity dot bounds dot x plus entity dot bounds dot what? Dot width, comma, the one with height. Perfect. Now, we just start the fuck over. Oh, it didn't like something. Let's try that. Huh? I mean, it allocated it. We'll figure it out. Just, I might have to Google that, but either way, bound line point bottom left, and then the end point bound line point bottom right, and then collision point, and we cap that bitch off. Do we? Oh my god, why did it send me all the way to the fucking bottom? And that's the function there. So that should do that, and then good. Now it's still mad. Collision point does not exist in the current context. Now that's really interesting, because yes, the fuck it does. Can initialize a by reference variable with a value. Oh, I shouldn't do that. Could you try? Have I used my lifeline? I forget. I might have used my lifeline really fucking early. Like a dumbass. Oh my gosh. Why is just the eye white? Whatever. Yeah, I might have to Google this. Because I want to initialize this. I don't even want to initialize it. I just want to say, hey, allocate this. We're going to need it soon. Oh, we're going to need it right here. Please? Vector 2, I don't know, just like call point and then like the address of call point. Dereference. Unrelated operations. The address of operator. Oh, wait. Is it just normal? Wait. Can I make vector 2 deref? Oh. I would like to have an unsafe context. Fix. What? Vector 2 call point. You should eat my balls. Because I can't just like pass in my brand new call point as this because it needs to be a reference. Right? Because it's expecting system.numerics vector 2. I want yeah. I guess just like address of. Address of. Oh, no. Oh, where's the comma? Pointers and fixed size specifications may only be. How do I make it less safe? I want it to not be safe. I want to cause harm. Like I don't, yeah, because I actually just don't know how to do that. Like how would I do that? So I'm using a C framework, so like it's probably not gonna work. Well, now I could just, I don't want to rewrite address of call point, but it just doesn't like that. Fix by. Okay. Okay. But I sure would like to. So, what the fuck? Can only be used in an unsafe context. Okay. I would still like to use this function, please. How does AI claim to want to fix it? Oh, that's kind of based. Okay. Can I see the error, please? Output problems. So I don't necessarily want to put it in an unsafe context, but like, how else do I use the line collision? I'm not watching a half-hour video on this shit. Bro, give me a goddamn formula. Well, that ain't it. I want to line/circle collision detection. Can I have line? That's a lot of fucking code for a goddamn collision, bro. Here's a full example. All right. JeffreyThompson.org may actually be the guy right now. All right. So I don't know what UA and UB is. You have to calculate the distance to the point of intersection. Yoink. So I do have my vectors here. So I'm still working on that. So like, oh gosh, that made a lot of fucking errors. But all right. Okay. So the difference. distance to the point. So I'm assuming x2 and x1 are for the first point. So I'm thinking it's, I think it's this one, the one that I'm like, I guess I'm pointing with. This one is at x1, x2, or x1, y1. Then this point on the end of this is x2, y2. And then this is 3 and 4. So in this case, well, I suppose it doesn't matter. Well, no, because you don't want... I mean, I'll fucking try it. So, like... So this one, all of the x1s... Here. We can actually control F. x1, yeah. x1... Replace with... It would be no. Would be player center dot x. Okay. That was all of them, I hope. No results. Perfect. So now x2 is going to be mouse pause. Right? Mouse pause dot x. There's no results. Now x3 is going to be bound line point bottom left dot x. And x4 is going to be bound line point bottom right dot x. Now we do the same for the y's. y1 is going to be player center dot y. y2 is going to be mouse pause dot y. y3 is going to be bound line point bottom left dot y. And y4 bottom right dot y. All right. Now I have the two mythical values that this dude uses. Why one of them is so much shorter than the other, I could not fucking tell you, but okay, now you have those two values, and then this test here so this test tests if the lines are intersecting. I'm just going to do color equals color dot purple. And I think this just needs to be, yep. And this should just change the color of the player if shit works. God damn it. Which one is drawn last? The one that's drawn last should work. It needs to be on the... It does work. Okay. Okay, and now... Yeah, so I'm just gonna like... Here, we're... That may be the dumbest way to fix that temporarily, but yes, it does in fact work. It now knows, hey, we're colliding with that bottom line. Now, all I need to do, well, I need to do a lot of things. I can't believe that fucking worked. I just like found and replaced all of that shit, and it just like decided to work, bro. So yeah, I don't even know how that equation like works necessarily. Anywho, now I just need to... Yeah, I'm actually gonna pause here. All right, so yeah, now I need to have a way that if yeah, so the raycast line or the cast line found, or cast collision found is what I'm gonna call it for the player. So I'm gonna have a bool cast collision found equals false. Right, so and cast collision found equals false. Perfect. And found. So cast collision found equals true. So once it finds a cast collision, it shouldn't continue to run this code. So it finds a cast collision and it stops running. Unfortunately, it stops running forever. So we want it to continue running at the end of the frame. I think that's how that works. So at the for each, just at the top here. I guess it doesn't have to be at the top. It can be here. Well, no, because that's always going to set it to false if it does that. And then it'll never run again. So it should be a variable local to the for each loop. Because it'll find it, or, right? Right, so it'll iterate through, and if it finds the line, I just want it to not run again. So it should just be local to update. I'll just put it above the for each loop. So it goes through, sets it to false, then it'll check every entity, and if it finds one, it'll set it to true. And then on the next frame, it'll go and set it to false again. So finds one, stops running, and then you click again and it didn't find one. And this one, it'll find one, and then you click again and it doesn't find one. So as long as it doesn't find the collision with the bottom line of anything, right? Because it doesn't care about the top line, doesn't care about the top line, gets to the bottom line, and suddenly it cares. Suddenly we care a lot about the Air Force and Marines. Yeah, so, oh, slow down there, Buster. Perfect. And then, yeah, although I do want it to go away after the mouse click. Right, so like if the mouse gets released, I want it to unfind a collision. And this checks is mouse button down, mouse button left. Cast collision found. Where is cast collision found? Oh. Oh, no, I did that. If it hasn't found a collision, look for a collision. But if I were to do this, it would break it because it would always set it to false after. I don't know. What behavior do I want? I want it to shit, what behavior do I want? I want when you click and hold, it has the possibility to turn purple. And then but this seems like it's gonna do bad. Huh? Oh, wait. Oh. Oh, no. No, that. Oh, no. No, but you still have to. It'll still save the last state. And this is in the for each. Like that's not in the for each. Well, then I want it to reset every frame. But it's only in there. So if I move it out of here, well, wait. It wasn't in the for each. It was never in the for each. If I put it in there, that doesn't change anything, does it? Oh, okay. So I think it's just the color. Is it just the color that's holding on? No, because the color and that are tied, like, forever. It's like it still thinks it found a cast collision, even though you let go of the mouse. So if is mutton is is mutton. So I could just make that always. Oh God, that hurts. Format document. I wonder what the refactor button does. Alright, you can go away now. What is that doing? Can I make it go away? I hope that didn't change jack shit. Alright. If you let go of the mouse, don't fucking look for a goddamn collision. Perfect. And now I think it would be pretty fucking cool if we could grab this and draw it still in this function. But instead of using the mouse position, we go here and we find the intersection. So we look at the intersection points. Oh, shit. All right. We gotta do this shit again. So x1 we all know is bounds dot x, right? Oh no. That's we want the center, player center. Dot x. Perfect. And this one is player center dot y plus player center dot y, and this is mouse pause dot y. And we probably could just make that into a vector directly if we were to did I already declare one? Call point. We're actually going to Control X. And I used call point here, but instead of 0, 0, it actually equals all of this shit. So doink. And so now, hey, what are we doing? What's going on here? All right, get rid of that. And this one doesn't have an equivalent. Is it just missing there? Oh god. That? Nope. No, it was not. Well, wait, no. It's good. And then it doesn't need a semicolon, and then we're done. Okay, cool. So now we have the collision point. Now, instead of drawing the line with Control X, instead of drawing the line, shouldn't need these, I hope. Now instead of drawing the line with that, we can simply, this is just the center point. Player center. And instead of mouse pause, we use call point. And now, if we run it, fuck, what is that? Why does it do that? What the hell? What's it doing? How about we only draw it like that? We only draw it like that if there is actually a collision. Where'd call point go? It's right here. So that happens right after so we find that, and then we get the collision point, and it's right there. So now we're gonna draw that in green, dark green. Draw that in dark green. And now the regular draw line can still happen. Cut. And it'll happen right after we get this. we draw the regular line, but if we collide, we get the dark green line too, which doesn't extend as far because, yeah. And now, if we just don't draw that line, we'll only get the line that we get. Boom. So that now directly points to the place where the mouse is, if it's right there. So now it would be like, oh boy, I'm jumping in. Whoa, I'm holding on to the thing, and it's swinging me. Oh, and then, oh boy, it didn't fucking work, so I gotta go to this one. Nope. Alright. Either way, I now have a little line guy that detects just the bottom of all of those. I will probably be live streaming the next one shortly after this. I'll probably be live streaming before this is uploaded. So, yeah, this one was almost an hour longer than the regular ones. Whoops. I'm gonna go eat dinner and then start live streaming. So, toodles.